Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to use items from the Cup of Tea suite. We're going to use the Cup of Tea stamp and the teacup dies and the Tea Boutique 6x6 designer series paper to make this really cute fun fold card. We're starting the card off as a landscape cut card. So what you need is a card base cut 11 by 4 1/4 and then scored at 5 1/2, and then you score it again at 2 1/2. And what this leaves you is this little kind of border edge here so that you could put a different paper in there. You could really play it up with the solids and the prints, or you can just go all solids. So when you score it at 2 1/2 here, you end up with a piece by 2 1/2 by 4 1/4 and a piece 3 by 4 1/4. So then your designer series paper pieces are 1/4 inch smaller. So instead of 2 1/2 and 4 1/4, it's 2 1/4 and 4, and then 2 3/4 and 4. I've written everything out here. I haven't written the score at 2 1/2 here. You can score it at 2 3/4 and make it a full fold over if you want, or you can do it how you like. So what we do need to build the card is we need a piece of designer series paper, 2 1/4 by 4, and that will go on each side of the flap. So you need 2 of those, and then 2 3/4 by 4, and you need 2 of those, 1 for each side of the flap. And then you need a 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, and you need 2 pieces around 3 3/4 by 2 1/2 for your card front and your greeting inside. I used the scalloped contour die for that. I used this one to get a nice shape, and then the piece that goes in front here is around 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. It's just this one I made to fit inside the stitched lines here. So I've already done all of the cutting and the coloring on this because I really just wanted to focus on how to build the card. So we've got our card base. I'm just going to pop these off here so I can build this. And I've got my stamp. I used this one, stamped it on basic white, and then used my dark fresh freesia and my light fresh freesia just to color in the teacup, and then I used the light granny apple green to color in the leaves, and I'd stamped it in granny apple green because I wanted to pull up the colors from the set itself. And then I've used the little tea bag stamp and die, and I just can't thank you enough as the greeting that fits inside. It's really tiny, but it's really cute. So basically we just need to build the card. So I'm going to start with my largest piece, and this is what I mean when I say you can use the dark paper if you want to, like the solids, because we could do this and then you'd be picking up on everything, or you could do that. So you can use your solids or you can use all patterned. But what we're going to do is we're just going to adhere everything, and this is flat mounted. So we're just going to run a couple of lines of adhesive, and again it's 5 1/4 by 4 this piece, so we're just going to drop that down. And then we come in with our 2 3/4 by 4, except it looks like I didn't trim these down to 4. I left them at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut them down to 4 inches. And there we go, just like that. And put that off to the side. I'm actually running out of places to put things. We're still doing a bit of renovations in the house, and half of the family room is actually in my craft room. So things are a bit racked and stacked in here at the moment. So we're just going to place that in there like that. And then we will do the same on the other side at the front with our 2 3/4 by 4. You can use all different papers. You can use all the same paper. Again, you can use the solids or the patterns. It's really up to you. This is our 2 1/4 by 4 to fit in our 2 1/2 by 4 1/4 space. So we'll do that. Now this paper you won't actually see, but it looks nice when the card is open if it's not just plain white. So we're going to pop this in like this, and we're just going to line that up. There we go. And then that is our fold over front. So by using the same paper on the inside as here, it looks like it could be a continuous piece. And then we've just got the definition, the difference here to kind of break it up a little bit. So what we have to do now is we have to take our designer series paper. And again, if you wanted to break up the color, you could do something like this and then place this on. Again, this really leaves a quiet space for the eye to land. But in this one, I want the focus to be on the teacup that we've colored. So I'm just going to flat mount this inside the space. And it just kind of fits inside those stitched lines like that. Okay. And this will need to be layered up on the front. But before we put the front on, we're going to put the middle in because we want to cover up the middle with the front, because we don't want to be able to see the handwriting on the inside when the card is closed. So we're going to line this up and place it down. Then we fold this over. You can still see a good portion of the inside. So we're going to take our matted piece at the front, and we're only going to put adhesive here on the 1/2, because if we put adhesive everywhere, it would just stick down. So then what I'm doing is I'm lining this up so that it covers the inside piece, making sure that I'm actually still straight. And there we go. And there we have our fun fold that actually covers up the piece inside. And then there it is. So when it stands open, you can see it a little bit, but when it's closed, you can't see the inside. So then what I did is I'm just dimensionalizing the teacup, and before I stick it down, I'm actually going to put an adhesive dot up here because I want to stick the kind of tea bag on it. And what I did is I punched a hole in the little tag, and then I put some white baker's twine on, and I've left it a bit long. I know that I want it to kind of lay just at the bottom like this. So then I can just fold this over and tuck it down onto that adhesive dot like that. You can even put it in the dimensional if you want to, so that it stays put. I haven't taken the sticky off the back of the mini dimensional on this one because I want to wait till I've actually got it placed. So I'm going to pop this down like this. Then I can take the dimensional off of here, and I can just tuck it down like that, like a tea bag laying off to the side. So there are two different versions of the card. Same card using different designer series paper. This one is a little quieter, a little more subtle. It's only got a little bit of the teapots on it. And then this one is a bit more striking. It's a bit busier. And I think I like the more vibrant one better. This one's nice and quiet. This one is a bit more vivacious, if you want to call it that. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.